What's up? It's Stephan James, and you're rocking with the BobbyPin.com.
What's up, world? It's your girl, Bobby Pin, and we are here with one and only actor Stephan James. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, and my hat just fell off again, so we're gonna ditch that. So we're here to talk about your new film, Race, which comes out this February. What can we expect from this? You're depicting the legendary Olympian Jesse Owens.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a big story about a very important character, not just in, American history, but really, world history. So you can expect to see, Jesse's life story, being told and how epic it is what he did in the 1936 Berlin Olympics. So I think a lot of people will enjoy it.
Absolutely. So I know that you're Canadian born, you're from Toronto. Tell me what it's like to be in these films, because you were also in Selma, to be in these films with these historical figures from America. Because I know, in particular, a lot of people like Langston Hughes fled this country to go to Canada for independence and a better chance at a better life. So what do these films mean to you? And what are your thoughts?
I mean, it's to me, racism and problems like the ones we see in Selma and race, it happens all over the world. It's not just an American problem. So I didn't see this story or these stories as just American stories. You know what I mean? I thought that there were stories that would resonate with people in Canada as well, and really all over the world. So and there are parts of these stories that I relate to. So for me, it's just been interesting to learn about our history and the things that certain people had to do or overcame so we could do what we do today. So to me, it's just been great. It's just been an opportunity to tell stories that have been great stories. American or not American, they really just resonate with so many people.
Absolutely. So, what about Jesse Owens' story or personality did you connect with most in this film?
I mean, even more so than the athlete he was, the runner he was, I just really connected with who he was as a person. When I heard about the type of man he was, the type of father he was, people don't know that Jesse was a big humanitarian. He was the type of person to, he'd see a child and really give them his last, even if he had nothing. And he just exuded love, and he was colorblind. He didn't judge people by how they looked, but rather who they were as individuals. So for me, that's what attracted me to his story, and I found things in him that that I have in myself.
Absolutely. So, last night you got to meet the family, Jesse Owens' eldest daughter. I'm not sure who else was there. What did they say to you? Because I know you watched the film as well. So, what were their thoughts?
I had met his daughters before. We hung out. We hung out a lot. He has three daughters, and they've been great pretty much from the beginning stages. And we couldn't be more glad to have them support the film in the way they have. That's like you couldn't really have a bigger endorsement for a Jesse Owens film than his own daughters. So to have them there and to have them embrace me the way they have, and speak about my performance and I know they were in tears after they saw the film for the first time. So that means so much to me to just have them embrace me and respect what it is that I did, because nobody knows them better than their father, or sorry, nobody knows their father better than them. So it was important for me that they liked it.
Absolutely. It was last night the first time you saw the film?
Oh, no. I've seen the film before. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, crowd reactions, where else did you see it? Like, what were the crowd reactions and what were your response to how people.
Actually, I've never seen it with a crowd, so it'll be interesting to finally see it with a crowd. I didn't even get to do it last night, but I'm sure one of these screenings, one of these premieres, I'll get to actually sit down and feel it out with a crowd. It's a much different experience when you're watching it with people, rather than two or three people and your manager and something like that. So it'll be different, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see how people react. I've heard great things. I've heard that some kids in the theater are so heavily enthralled by the film that they're really on the edge of their seats, especially in the running scenes, which is I couldn't ask for a better reaction. I'm so happy that I hear about kids cheering when Jesse's winning and stuff like that. So it means a lot to me.
Awesome. So, talking about running, what was the training process for you to prepare for this role?
It was big. It was big. I knew right away, If I was going to be the fastest man on the planet, then I had to do some work. I had to do not only research, but I had to learn how to run because, I grew up on basketball, volleyball, football, never track. So it was a whole new thing to me, and I had to not only learn how to run fast, but how to run like Jesse. So it took a while of just repetition, watching his videos, making sure that I looked like him, in his stride, to how he started his race, to how he finished his race, to how his face looked while he ran. So, the devil was really in the details for me.
Absolutely. So just curious, I really am interested in the physical portion. Where'd you like weigh in when you started the film, and where were you when you finished?
I actually might have lost weight because I cut down my body fat, but I definitely got more cut and more in shape, as a runner would. So it's basically about getting in shape, changing my diet and stuff like that. So if anything, I may have lost weight.
So I watched an interview yesterday that you did, and you have a very interesting story behind your real name, Stephan. Would you mind sharing that?
Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, no, it's so funny because I'm only 22, so back in the day there was a show called Family Matters, and I watched the show growing up too. But the main character, Steve Urkel, he's sort of like a nerd. He's a geek, and he invents this machine. And when he goes into the machine, he comes out as a cooler version of himself. So, and when he comes out of the machine, he changes from Steve Urkel to Stefan Urkel. So, my aunt, she was so fascinated with the show. She told my mom she should name me Stefan when I was born. So that's how it worked.
Awesome. Do you think you're living up to the name?
I think so. I think I'm cool enough to be called Stefan. So yeah.
I think so too. I think it fits you. Is there anything you might want to leave our viewers with? Any upcoming projects you might want to talk about?
I can't say too much, but honestly, I'm just focused on race and making sure that people like it. People are going to see it and support it. It's so much bigger than an African American story, so much bigger than an American story. It's really just a world story, and it doesn't matter if you're an athlete, if you're a young person, you're an old person. I think that there is something for everyone to take away from this film.
Tell everyone where they can keep up with you online.
Yeah. Instagram at t.steph, TDOTSTEPH, and on Twitter at real Steph J.